A Clinton-based community service group is trying to help area veterans recover. They're holding fundraisers to raise money and awareness for a new piece of technology that can be a life changer.
Sharon, changing the definition once again, using technology and willpower to make what was once impossible possible. But can it help Matt Ross, who heard the words he feared the most? You will never walk again. Tonight, his fight to turn a disability into an ability.
I joined the military when I was 17 and a junior in high school, and I was looking for direction.
Matt Ross found that direction and a career with the National Guard. He served in combat infantry for the next 11 years, spending 10 more as a recruiter in his hometown, where he started another career as a farmer.
Spent a little over 21 years in the military and come out without a scratch on me and end up getting hurt at home.
That injury would come on April 26, 2014. Matt borrowed a neighbor's backhoe to fix a broken water line.
And I ended up getting into the bucket of the backhoe and have him lower me down into the hole, which I've done 1,000 times.
But this time, instead of getting out to make the repairs, he stayed in the bucket, a critical mistake that would change his life in an instant. Experts believe the joystick slipped into gear, pulling the bucket closed, crushing him against its support beam.
I lived to be 100 years old. I'll never forget the sound of that bone crushing. And they figure that was, it split my sternum in half, it crushed all the ribs on the right side of my chest and broke 4 on the left.
He looked up to see his family watching in shock. Then
my wife was crying hysterically, and so was my daughter, but my daughter was also screaming at the guy in the backhoe that you're killing him, you're killing him. And I remember all this, I can hear it.
The man at the controls panicked, releasing him, only to push the joystick too far the other way, crushing him again, this time breaking his back.
My 2 vertebrae, T7 and 8, were actually inside my chest cavity. It pushed them so far it cut the back of my heart and the back of my right lung.
His son-in-law jumped into the hole to help.
As I was telling him, I said, I can't feel my legs, and from my knees down, we're still in the bucket. And I said, I can't feel my legs, and I said, I'm bleeding into my chest cavity.
His eyes closed for a moment. Then, as they opened again, the realization of what was happening set in.
I had to look my son-in-laws in the eyes and tell him I was dying. So.
Rescue crews arrived. He coded on the flight to Mason City, was revived and rushed into surgery once they landed.
I spent 7 hours in surgery, and I died 3 more times in surgery. And the 3rd time I died in surgery, I was dead for 30 minutes. And I've met the doctor that massaged my heart and my hand to keep me alive.
But as fast as they pumped the blood in, it was pumping right back out.
And I went through 104 units of blood, which is 5 times what your body holds.
So much the hospital ran out of blood. He had to be flown to Iowa City, hanging on with no expectation that he would get there alive. The pressure from the flight is credited with slowing down the bleeding. Now stable, Matt asked one question.
I wanted to know if I was ever going to walk again, and they wouldn't answer me.
His wife tried to convince him that there is still life without walking. The Iowa City medical staff prepared to transfer him to the VA hospital in Minneapolis.
They kept telling him, said he'll never walk again. All you got to do is get him in a wheelchair and get him mobile.
But despite paralysis from the belly button down, Matt was not giving up. He worked for weeks closely with his therapist, Chris, to get back anything he could, until one day, this day, they decided to try to stand.
You don't know the feeling you get being able to stand after being told that you'll be in a wheelchair the rest of your life.
Get it. Come on.
But without any feeling in his legs or hips, he had no balance, no way to walk. Weeks later came another call from Chris. A new piece of equipment just came in.
He said, nobody's been in it yet. And he said, I think you're the perfect candidate to come up and try this exoskeleton out.
Donated by Soldier Strong, the device supports the body while it relearns the basics of balance and movement.
And after 1 week, actually 5 days of being in that machine, it reprogrammed my brain to know that this is where your center of balance is.
2 weeks more, his knees started working. Matt was walking. So were other veterans there with him.
The one guy I met up there, he was in a wheelchair for 7 years. And they put him in that machine, and he stood up out of that wheelchair and was actually able to look his wife in the eye instead of looking up at her. And the expression on his face is, I'd spend $1 million on one of those machines.
Soon Matt was back on his farm, doing things no one, except for him, thought would ever be possible.
Don't believe what they tell you. I said, you got to keep driving forward. Don't be the type of person that takes no for an answer. Keep doing it. Keep trying. There's always that opportunity that you're possibly going to walk again.
Now an effort is underway to get one of those suits for a VA facility in Iowa. The Fraternal Order of Eagles, based in Clinton, is leading the effort to buy an exosuit so that veterans won't have to travel out of state. They have teamed up with the group Soldier Strong, who promises to match funds if Iowans can raise $75,000. They have hosted several events and reached out to area businesses.
Once we mention the word veterans, people are very open-hearted and open-walleted to buy tickets and share whatever they can.
If you'd like to help, we have their Facebook page linked to ours at kwqc.com and on our Facebook page. And if you have a story you would like us to profile on My Ability, send it to KWQC 805 Brady Street or news@kwqc.com.